Hello and good day to you. I'm here to share with you our experience of working with school children and their parents over the last 10 years in the extremely important and critical area of protecting the environment, where we have created a team which saves the earth from as much plastic as we can gather in a manner which will be replicable on the entire planet. This pilot project is called as Sagar Mitra. You can see the logo, which shows two children, a boy and a girl in school uniform. And they do this program, the recollection of plastic in a particular way and recycling in a particular way, which has been very successful in last 10 years. They do this program in order to save the fish and the birds and all creatures weaker than human beings, that is all the creatures. And they also do this program to save the ocean and especially the greenery in the ocean, more specifically the plankton in the ocean which are dying because of plastic. So this is about behavior transformation and not just garbage management. This is a behavior transformation, educational and cultural project. By cultural, we mean it will sink down to the family so that the next generation will learn without people like us having to teach. Culture is a transfer of all that is good, all that is worthwhile, all that is practical, all that is easy to the next generation. So we are an educational and cultural project to establish daily action. Every day, the action is possible. By any human being on earth, it is so easy for conserving and enriching the planet, the planet's oceans, rivers, lakes, and all the plant and animal species which are in the land, on the land, in the air, in the water, and anywhere else that you can think about. Sagar Mitra then is designed and implemented by the Academic Advisors, which is an NGO, non-government organization, civil society organization. We work in the fields of education, environment, and empowerment. The vision created by education and environment weaving together has to be empowered so that there will be a practical way of recruiting more than 7 billion human beings to simple changes in their lifestyle and their family lifestyle. This is aimed at changing the head, that is the information, the heart, that is the involvement, and the hands, that is the individual participation on a daily basis, and the collective participation on a daily basis, up to every single human being on earth. It is aimed for that. So we call it as head, heart, and hands training. And in Indian language, we say Jnana Bhakti Karma Yoga. So this is an ethical leadership project. The children learn how to tackle the plastic themselves as individuals and as teams. And some of the children have now become coordinators for us for entire cities. 150 students were enrolled in 2011 when we became aware of the plastic menace. We also became aware that there is no deliberate program to create the future leadership where from the Homo sapiens, the Cosmo sapiens is created. From the Mano, the Vishwa Manav is created very thoughtfully. We put in 36 years of research before 2011, and then we created this program for the children of our planet. In March 2021, we have reached 2.5 lakh students in 250 schools spread out over mostly in India, but there are a few schools in Morocco and a few schools in USA, especially in New York, in Brooklyn, where we have also done some experimental work. And 35,000 residents of 182 housing societies in my city of Pune. In the year 2020, from January to December, in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, we recollected and recycled 100 tons of waste plastic. Jal Biradari, a national and international organization and think tank, which works on the ground with the natives of the place, works with River Basin Revival, is one of our mentors and our inspiration. I'm a member of Jal Biradari also. Cummins India Foundation gives us the support, which is in India is called as CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility. So they are funding our efforts. So my gratitude to Cummins India Foundation for giving their effort here. Apart from the funds, they also take part in the entire brainstorming to make this work more efficient and more well networked. Pune Municipal Corporation, or local elected body, as well as the bureaucracy, So whether it is Pune's mayor or whether it is Pune's commissioner and their teams, we are very closely involved with them. Recently, they have given us 800 schools to train one teacher each from each school. Before COVID came on the scene, we had trained 2 sets of 40 and 40, and then the work is now paused because of the COVID lockdowns and the risk of COVID, which is there. Though we started in 2011 with 150 students, immediately next year we had 10,000, then 21,000, 41,000, and 61,000 students in 2015. And the international organization which studies plastic in the oceans, Five Gyres Institute, has now sent us this Ocean Hero Decal, this Ocean Hero medal, and that can be used by our children. So they have been recognized to be ocean heroes. We told them that the plastic they saved would save the ocean because it would not go into the river and from there to the ocean. And after 5 years, we got a third party validation from Five Gyres Institute that these children are ocean heroes. The first caution to all is plastic is being overproduced. We don't need that much plastic to be produced. But because it is a byproduct of the petroleum industry, there are people who will produce it as much as they can, produce it at low cost and try to sell it. They will even triple the plastic overall biscuits, saying that it needs to be protected. And they might put 5 layers also to sell the plastic along with the biscuits. So caution, first of all, refuse to use plastic whenever possible. Please become alert. Try not to use plastic at all. As far as possible, reduce some or the other plastic that you buy. Every month, start thinking about reducing one or the other plastic that you're buying. Plastic, as shown in this very simple graphic, is thrown by us onto the ground. Many careless people throw it all over. Individuals throw it outside their house. Rich cities throw it on poor cities, and rich countries throw an enormous amount of waste plastic onto poor countries. My entire planet does this. No one is free from this. Rich countries are throwing it on poor countries also, dumping it. So this plastic goes into our water bodies. There it breaks down into small pieces because of ultraviolet rays. And these small pieces are eaten by the fish, eaten by the birds. Are these the only type of species we have? No, this plastic is eaten by any kind of creature. Even mosquito larvae have been found with plastic inside them, and plankton have been found with very small plastic pieces inside them. Once the plastic is in the water, it bobs up and down, looks like a living thing. And these creatures really have not been given the skill of recognizing. Humanity, the human species knows what is plastic, knows it is harmful, but still throws it. And these poor creatures, weaker than us, they have no voice. They cannot tell us, stop throwing plastic. They are eating it and they're dying at horrendous numbers, horrendous numbers. To save them, we have this Sagar Mitra initiative, an educational and cultural project for the entire planet led by the children of high schools, because that age group comes to school, sits in a hall every day, at least 5 days in the week, trying to learn new things, which the older people rarely do. Older people don't come to a hall every day to learn new things. To do new things on our planet, we need young people who learn new things. So it's an educational and cultural project aimed for 1.2 billion children. Now we have 250,000 in 10 years. Now just imagine 150 to 250,000. In another 10 years, we'll reach the 1.2 billion. Do the math. This project is about non-violence. It is not about garbage picking. The children are taught in a very safe way to collect plastic only from their house. And this plastic, they understand very quickly that it is not the garbage they are picking, but a raw material for industry. And that because of that, saving the plastic and not allowing it to go into water or air or not burning it, we are saving life on the planet Earth. So their sensitivity, their non-violence in action, daily action, not just thinking, their non-violence in daily action towards all creatures on Earth reaches the total of tons of material that is saved and recycled. This is how the plastic looks on the ground. This is how it looks in the water. Out of every careless piece thrown on my planet, 100 pieces are thrown, 30 pieces go into the water. 30 pieces are burnt. 30 pieces stay on the soil, and eventually when they change to nanoparticles, they will be infecting the aquifers also. If we throw untreated plastic into the roads, then there is no difference between the road fill and the landfill. Landfill and road fill become the same. When the plastic will break down to small pieces, it is going to pollute the aquifer below the road. So be careful about putting any kind of plastic anywhere. From my city of Pune, the Mulamutha River takes plastic to the Bhima River. Here is a photograph of the first dam on the Bhima River. After my Mulamutha River reaches the Bhima River, brings plastic from Pune, and on the first dam itself, we find a lot of plastic coming from my city. These were pictures of the Krishna River basin, the entire green area shown here. Almost 1/10 of India, this is Krishna River basin. Hundreds of small tributaries, dozens of large tributaries. So 11 of the tributaries are inside my city and outside my city in my district of Pune. These 11 rivers take plastic through this southern Maharashtra region. Maharashtra is a state, into the state of Karnataka and through it, where the Bhima River, where all my plastic goes from my city, from the Mulamutha to the Bhima River, from the Bhima to the Krishna River. And the Krishna River brings from Ghataprabha, Malaprabha, Tungabhadra, Varada, Vedavati, Tunga, all these are tributaries in Karnataka state. And then going south of Hyderabad, which is capital city of Telangana state, and then eventually the coastal state of Andhra Pradesh. The plastic from Pune city travels hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers and gets dumped into the Bay of Bengal, which is part of the Indian Ocean. It is a bay in the Indian Ocean which comes northwards. So this is how we tell the children, don't throw a single piece of plastic from this moment. I'm saying this to all of you, my friends on the planet. Don't throw a single piece of plastic from this moment onwards. Not a single piece. Waste plastic that is gathered in our oceans will stay for 1,000 years as pollution. How is that? Think of the bottle that we throw. Just before that, let us look at these 5 garbage patches. This is plastic floating on the oceans, North and South Atlantic, North and South Pacific in the middle. And to the left, you find the Indian Ocean also gathering plastic. And if you see the Pacific patch, which has been spoken of and written about so much, then the red part which you see, in this coast to coast plastic from the eastern coast of China up to the western coast of the United States, all this plastic floating. Sometimes you may not see it with your eyes because these are small particles, a little separate from each other. But the plastic is there and it is packed quite a lot at this red patch, which is 2,000 kilometers by 800 kilometers. That is half of India, or 6 times of my Maharashtra state, or 3 times the area of Spain and Portugal. It's a huge patch of plastic. Imagine one of the bottles that I have thrown has gone to the Indian Ocean. I may have gone to one of the coastal cities and thrown it, even directly into the ocean, or the small creek took it into the ocean. The lower transparent part of this water bottle is going to last for 300 years as visible particles. After 300 years, the particles will become nanoparticles of plastic. They will remain as plastic. They will not change into soil. After 800 years, the bottle top is going to become invisible. First, it will lose its color, then it will become a powder, but still visible. If that piece is up to 5 millimeters and visible, it is called microplastic. 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, up to 5 mm, it is microplastic. Up to 800 years, this will be microplastics, this bottle top. And then it will change to nanoparticles. It will remain as plastic. 300 years, that means the year 2320. 800 years, in the year 2820, they are going to have to deal with the plastic I've thrown today. Yes, me, I'm part of the human species. If any single human being throws, it's my fault that I have not been able to reach that fellow and tell him what is wrong with this. The way we tell anybody, don't play with matches. You might set fire to something. Oh, don't play with plastic, don't throw it. It's more dangerous than a fire. The fire goes out. Plastic doesn't go out for thousands of years. We are playing with more than fire over here. Nanoparticles are there. The fish and the birds are dying the way the canary used to die in the deep mine, warning the miners that a poisonous gas is coming up. The delicate bird is dead. Now that gas is coming for you, for human beings. All the birds and fish which are dying are warning us. They are our canaries. They are warning us, look, do something about us. Otherwise, you are next in line. Till the plastic is visible, you are not going to eat it. Once it becomes invisible, nanoparticles, you guys are going to eat it. Look at all the records around you. Every human being is said to be eating a credit card's weight of plastic every quarter, every 3 months. we are eating that much plastic, which is very microparticles. So we are next in line also. In 2016, the United Nations declared that 25% ocean fish have plastic in their stomachs. After 5 years, 2021, it is known that 50% of the ocean fish have plastic in their stomachs. What's going to happen by 2030? Another 9-10 years from now. By 2050, when they say that for every 1 ton of fish in the ocean, 3 tons of plastic will be there. How do we prevent it? Anybody may say that so much plastic will go, but we can stop it if we decide. We can have a dream about it and a vision about it. And please let us not have any poverty in dreams and vision. In our dreams, everything is possible. Count on it. Count on anything that you can imagine and think of, and imagine that every human being is smart and is going to wake up to this and is going to change. We tested this on children. So is plastic a boon? Yes, plastic is very durable. It is impermeable. It prevents our food from getting infected. Imagine the COVID pandemic which is going on and the millions and millions of vials of medicine, vaccine, which is going all over. Even during the treatment, there is so much medicine that is used. There are masks which are used. How much of polymers are saving our lives? So it is a boon. Yes, it seems to be. If we use plastic chairs, we are not using wooden chairs. Then is it a curse? Oh yes, if we throw it very carelessly, it becomes a curse. So is plastic a boon or a curse? Or is it how we decide to use it? It's finally human behavior which is the boon or the curse. About plastic, what can we say? It's a personal responsibility. You can call it a boon, you can call it a curse. But after using it, when you say that it has become useless, when I say it has become useless to me, it is a personal responsibility to deal with it and dispose it properly. It is my personal responsibility because my planet is full of persons. Every human being is a person. So personal responsibility translates into our global responsibility for every person. So we should think globally and act personally. We should sense the whole planet when we wake up. Think about all these things going on and decide not to do some of the things which we have been doing and to add good habits which we do not have. Sagar Mitra is a seeding of such good habits. If you see on the left side, there's a Sagar Mitra logo. So we are trying to create the syllabus for the planet regarding what to do with plastic at home, how to take it as a personal responsibility. We are trying to make it so easy, you'll see how easy it is. And the children who started as 150 children in 2011, within 4 or 5 years, by 2015, there were 61,000 children. Year by year, I'll tell you the numbers. 150 children changed into 10,000 to 21,000 to 41,000 to 61,000. That is how they grew. And when they were 61,000, we had an approach from Five Guys Institute. And after sharing with them what the children are doing, they have rewarded our children with the title Ocean Hero. They have given us the right to put this Five Guys Ocean Hero shield on their t-shirts and their caps and on badges. So much gratitude to Five Guys Institute for recognizing that even though Pune city does not have an ocean directly, the river takes the plastic to the ocean. And these children, 61,000, have done a significant pilot project with wonderful results. Wonderful results. So they deserve the Ocean Hero. That Ocean Hero title was given to the children. So many teachers are going to hear this talk because we ourselves are dealing with thousands and thousands of teachers. And the government has asked us to do training programs for thousands and hundreds of thousands of teachers now. Our teachers, I bow down to the work that they have done. Hats off to them. For the last 40 years, my teachers all over my planet in my 197 countries, to my children who are my responsibility and to your children who are your responsibility, they have taught that terrestrial trees give us 50% of our oxygen. So you must save the tree. Sometimes they did not tell this, that 50% of oxygen only 50% is given by the trees on the land. Rather, they shortened it to save the trees. And so all of us, including me, thought that the trees give us all the oxygen, and the visual before us was the tree on land. And we forgot entirely about the aquatic greenery. Save ocean greens. Ocean greenery gives us 50% of our oxygen, and there are months and seasons when the ocean gives us 70% of our oxygen. And those trees, that greenery also has to be saved. As much as we find it essential to say save trees to the smallest child in kindergarten, we should start telling them save the ocean greenery, stop throwing plastic. Because if the terrestrial trees are cut by the iron axe, the axe with the iron blade, then the oceanic greenery, the aquatic greenery is killed by plastic waste. The plastic stays as a layer on the water and prevents the sunlight from coming down, is one of the reasons why it kills the ocean greenery. Preventing the sunlight from coming down in the whole force of the sunlight which used to come down there. When plastic is in a layer of 10 feet and 2 feet and 3 feet and 30 feet, even as mixed plastic, roaming around here and there with small patches of water in the middle. When the depth becomes more than 2-3 feet, the water becomes opaque to the sunlight. And because sunlight does not reach, the greenery dies. And save the trees, and for God's sake, save the aquatic green also. So we must not use the iron axe, and we must also not use the plastic as an axe on my ocean and on your ocean. How much is the plastic on our oceans? Just look at this. All these white dots which are there, is an interactive map on the net. If you go very deeply into it, each dot represents 20 kilograms. This goes very deep into individual harbors also, this particular map. You will find that as far as India is concerned, where I come into contact with most of my current students, they can see that the Arabian Sea has plastic in it, all this white. And the Bay of Bengal has plastic in it. And then, of course, the 5 patches, but 5 patches is not all that there is to it. Look at the Mediterranean, look at the Black Sea, look at every coastline. The coastline has 60% of human population. And so the coastal areas are throwing out huge amounts of plastic also. Let's look at a comparative view. If you see the European Union area, very developed on my planet, my European countries, I am a citizen of the planet, and my America and Canada and all this area which is highly developed, highly industrious, filled with industries. Industrious, we can take a work ethic lesson from both Europe and America, definitely. And yet, the heavy industrialization and the consumerism which has to be encouraged to keep the industries alive so that there is a larger and larger market to buy all that stuff. And when I start producing plastic just to sell plastic, not because plastic is useful, but because I can produce plastic for my petroleum industry waste, and then I have to sell it, I have to dump it, then what happens is this. The waste plastic created in European Union and United States gets dumped into third world countries, poorer countries, a huge amount. This is plastic being thrown on the land in landfills. 197 nations together are throwing 14 million tons into water bodies. 14 million tons. In Hindi, in India, 14 million tons is 1.5 crore ton. 3 million tons, ये 30 lakh ton है. 3 million tons were rivers to the oceans. 5 million tons were coastline to the oceans. And 6 million tons remains stuck in lakes and rivers. These are the annual figures. So totally 14 million tons. What about all these arrows which I have shown? USA and European Union, these two regions, highly developed, are exporting or dumping 24 million tons in so many countries. At one time, 24 million tons was being sent to China alone. And now China is refusing to take this. And so there is a big question on where to send this. Please understand my humanity, my human beings, my human species. I'm not speaking alone. I'm not speaking as just an Indian. I was born in India, but I was born on the planet. By poorer countries, waste plastic is thrown from the rich city to the poor village. The poor village doesn't have a voice. By richer countries, the waste plastic is dumped from the rich country to the poor country. The poor country relatively doesn't have a strong voice. All of us in humankind are equally responsible for this bullying. When we are strong, we tend to throw all the garbage onto the weak. Plastic is neither a boon nor a curse when we go deeply into it, but a responsibility. You may call it a boon and give the reasons why it is a boon. You may call it a curse, give me the reasons why it is a curse. But finally, my friends, we have to do something about it. And who has to do it? It's a personal responsibility. And because every human species, every member of the human species is a person, the personal responsibility is a global responsibility for every person together. Here is some more maths. 1 kilogram of plastic waste. I hope you can see me in this video. And I'm showing you a bag of plastic which I collected the waste plastic in my house for the last 15 days, and it came to 250 grams, 1/4 of a kilogram. So 4 bags of this size. If I collect 4 bags of that size, which I showed you in the video, that is 1 kilogram of plastic, and don't allow it to go outside my house, but keep it in order to sell it to the recycler. It would have mixed, if I had thrown it, it would have mixed with 150 kilograms of wet waste, because plastic is very light. Plastic can spread very much because it is a film mostly, and 1 kilo of plastic will mix with 150 kilograms of wet waste. And then you neither have the plastic separated as a raw material, nor do you have the wet waste as a fertilizer. Then what you have is garbage. So plastic is a thing in the wrong place. So we have to stop it where we buy it. We buy it, bring it home, don't throw it outside the house. This is a pictorial representation of that. 100 tons was collected by the Sagar Mitra families, the children and their parents. That is 100,000 kilograms. Multiply it by 150, because that would have gone and mixed with 150 kilograms of wet waste. The children have done 15 million kgs of solid waste management at zero cost to my nation, at zero cost to my state or city. The whole planet can do it. Children can do it. Here is what we do. I will tend, if I'm strong, to throw my garbage onto some land where a weak person lives who is not going to object to me throwing it there. Or he will be so weak that he doesn't even know, he is not alert. He's so weak in his alertness that he doesn't even know that I am bullying him, that I'm throwing this onto him, imposing it on him. Our cities are still at that level. Unfortunately, my planet, I must be honest about my planet. Those of us who can think have not been able to make even the topmost level people think properly, sensitively. And as a result, our cities are throwing the garbage like this. Please don't tell me about cities which do this job very neatly. Those developed countries are throwing a huge amount of plastic onto the non-developed countries. In the poor countries, as I've shown in previous slides, the rich city throws on the poor village. In the rich countries, the rich country throws on the poor countries. There are very, very few countries which I found out what approaches research and development where they can deal with their own plastics. But those are exceptions still. And our ocean will not be happy with exceptions in 1 or 2 countries with small populations. We have a huge population of 7 to 8 billion to reach. This is also a picture of mixed garbage, wet waste mixed with plastic. Only if this is 150 tons of mixed garbage, only 1 ton will be plastic. If I stop myself from throwing 1 kg of plastic waste, I'm saving 150 kilograms of biodegradable waste from turning into useless mixed garbage. Now here we go again. Rivers are choked with plastic waste. They empty 3 million tons of that into the ocean every year. 6 million tons stays in the rivers and the lakes and the dams. 5 million tons is going direct from coastal population centers to the ocean. So this is 14 million tons. Here are 2 rivers at the top, a 3rd canal on the left, and on the right side, you see a canal or a river or a stream which is taking plastic towards the ocean. It is interesting to see the picture on the left side top. The river is completely covered with plastic on the top, and the fishermen are collecting plastic because the fish are dead. In my city, there were 70 species of fish in my river. Now there are only 2 species left, which are also not indigenous species. So we cannot hear the screaming of the fish because we tend to hear from the ears. We must learn to listen from the heart. मानव जो है वो कान से सुनता है, विश्व मानव हृदय से सुनता है. A Homo sapiens will hear from the ears. A Cosmo sapien, which we are changing into, a Cosmo sapien will hear from the heart also. So let us hear the screams of the fish and the birds from our heart and realize that this is not just garbage, but it is our violence upon my planet Earth and your planet Earth and all the children of the Earth, not just human species. Here are 2 more photographs of how the plastic starts spreading into the ocean. Fish die because they eat the plastic. Birds die because they eat the plastic. They do not know the difference. And the greenery also dies. I've already told you how a layer of plastic will prevent sunlight from coming down. And the normal sunlight conditions not being there, normal photosynthesis does not happen, and the greenery dies. Along with save the trees on the land, we must do save the greenery on the water, especially in the oceans. So what do we do? After telling all of this to the children, we say, look, we are not doomsday people, you know. We are not showing you all of this because we are saying it's doomsday. We are saying it's my responsibility, it is your responsibility. We'll start with 150 children. We managed to raise it to 250,000 children. By 2030, we'll reach the whole planet. We promised the 150 children that we will reach 150 schools, which we have done. Now we will reach 150 cities, which we are on the way to. And then we will reach 150 countries. Then 197 countries will come in. 150 to 197 is not a big job. Join Sagar Mitra. Stop throwing plastic waste. Collect it at home. Collect only the plastic which is purchased by you and brought into your house. Bring that plastic once in a month to school or collection center. If you're an adult, you may not be going to school. Bring that clean plastic that you have collected to the collection center or hand over to the collection agency, separating the plastic in a plastic bag. They will recycle it because recycling is happening now when segregated plastic comes to all those agencies which get, because they can sell that segregated clean plastic. It's a money-making thing for them. So it's easier to deal with that plastic, not throw it. If it is clean plastic collected by us at the source, they'll be able to sell it. The plastic cycle will become a circular economy. The plastic coming to us from factory will go back to the factory. Every month, this collection comes to us. With this, we ask the children to save the next generation of all these creatures and the next generation of human beings also. So this is Sagar Mitra. This is a typical photograph of a school which collected plastic. Our team with the vehicle went there. 1 or 2 members of our team are there along with the driver. And then this is weighed. You can see a weighing scale there. And on this weighing scale, we weigh this plastic. The owner of the company which buys this plastic is also there with us on the left-hand corner, this gentleman, Vilas Pokle from Clean Garbage Management. And then one of the representatives of Cummins India is here. 2 representatives of the students are there. They are called Sagar Mitra captains. And then we have some of the school people over here. And then this plastic is weighed and we buy the plastic, and this is purchased by Clean Garbage Management in my city. In different cities where we are working in small towns, different agencies buy this plastic. And then this plastic is changed and recycled. Once again, we have placed here the Ocean Hero Award because 2 students are here. We honor them with this printout. Every time we try to show students, we try to put up the Ocean Hero label over there. What plastic should the children bring? The previous slide was, this is the plastic that they fetched. Now, is it just plastic bags? Really? Only that? Is it just plastic cups, spoons? Is it only plastic bottles of water? No. They are told that every single piece of plastic that you buy is plastic. Here is a sample of the plastics which are used inside homes on my planet. Not a single home on my planet is without one or the other of this. Even the clothes we wear, wherever the clothes are not pure cotton, 87%, 83 to 87% of all the clothes on my planet are polymers. When you just rub your cloth, small micro pieces of plastics are falling down by the thousands. So there's a lot of plastic. Out of that, the visible plastic which is there, like shown in the picture, an old scale which is broken, an old toothbrush which is broken, you purchase the new one. You put this in a bag, collect for 1 month and bring it to school or any collection point. The entire Sagar Mitra program has to be only 2 lines if it has to reach the whole planet. And here are the 2 lines. Bring clean, dry and empty waste plastic from the home to school every month. Collect it for 1 month at home. And to school, because our agency goes to collect at the school, in your country, in your city, in your town, whoever is the collecting agency, please hand over the waste plastic, any of this plastic that you gather every month. Tag it with a red thread. Let that red thread be the identification that some Sagar Mitra has created that bag. And that plastic bag should be given to the agency which collects. If thankfully some agency like Sagar Mitra buys it from you, then sell it. If you have no collecting agency, then if the government sends you some agency to collect garbage, then along with the segregated clean dry garbage and wet garbage. Keep a third part which is in a plastic bag. Keep plastic. हिंदी में हम कहते हैं त्रिकुंडीय पद्धत अपनाएं. एक कुंडी में आप रखोगे, एक कंटेनर में, कुंडी यानी कंटेनर, एक कुंडी में आप रखोगे सूखा कचरा, एक में गीला कचरा. Dry waste, wet waste. So dry waste is usually artificial things created by human beings, and wet waste is usually what is created by nature. And then a bag in which only plastic is kept. तो त्रिकुंडीय पद्धत अपनानी है. एक तीसरी कुंडी रखनी है प्लास्टिक के लिए. और जो कोई आता है और आपसे मांगता है कि हम लेके जाएंगे कचरा, तो उनको वो प्लास्टिक की बैग, उसको लाल कुछ धागे से बांध दो, लाल टेप लगा दो, लाल धागा बांध दो, वहीं के प्लास्टिक में से लाल ढूंढ के एक टैग लगा लो, ताकि दुनिया भर के जो गरीब लोग हैं वो समझ ले कि लाल टैग वाली बैग मिल गई प्लास्टिक की, तो उसके भीतर ड्राई प्लास्टिक रहता है और वो बेच सके कॉर्नर पे. दे डोंट हैव टू बिकम रैक पिकर्स टू पिक इट. वी कीप इट सेपरेट. दे कैन पिक ओनली द बैग्स फ्रॉम अस एंड दे कैन सेल इट एंड मेक देयर मनी. Rack pickers are a very huge force in third world countries which do this kind of scavenging, if you call it that. But we should help them by segregating our plastic and not allow our plastic to go into the mud or into the soil or into the water, from where it is very difficult to collect and dry it and wash it and sell. Let's not put them into that problem. See, I know this is an interim measure, but the interim measure has to reach 7 billion people. So it will have to reach the 1.2 million children who are in high school. The children become the change makers. The children will tell us how to reach the kingdom of God, where the planet is the temple and it must be kept clean. Our entire ocean is holy water because it gives us our rain. It gives us our life-giving rain. The children understand even the philosophical and theological things that we say with no reference whatsoever to any ism or any group. When we speak about love for the fish, love for the bird, when we speak to them saying, you're warriors if you are strong enough to protect these weak fellows. The fish is weak compared to you. The animals don't understand. Intellectually, they are weaker. So you're a strong kid. You're in 5th, 6th, 7th. You're strong. You can save them. Take a bag. So they go home and take a bag. And then we remind them, look, you already have a habit at home. So we say to the children, look, you already keep paper raddi, that is paper waste. Clean, dry and empty paper is kept in one corner. Just add one bag and keep clean, dry and empty plastic over there. Such a collection which is made every month in every family in my India and all over my planet. In India, we call it newspaper raddi. Raddi means apparently it is waste, but someone is there who will buy it. So start keeping plastic raddi. All over my planet, every family, start keeping plastic raddi. When it is in a bag like this kid is holding, tie a red thread to it. Let that be the identification of such bags, Sagar Mitra bags all over my planet. If there is a red tag, anyone who sees that bag, if it comes to a garbage truck, then anyone who's poor in that whole cycle is going to segregate these things out and sell them where recycling is there. And if your housing society, your apartment house, your city, your country, your district are blessed with a collection system, then they'll be more than happy to collect this plastic from you. And if you have a businessman who buys it, then all the more good, then you are blessed still more, because then the plastic goes into a circular economy. But don't wait for a collector to come. Start collecting now, today. Don't throw a single piece of plastic that you buy. Keep the dry plastic in a bag. Tie it with a red thread. Give it to whichever is the agency which takes from you. Please start doing it today for my planet and your planet, and to honor the 250,000 children who have done this, and those children from 2 schools in New York who did it, and the teachers and children who are being trained by my friend Mubarak in Morocco, and my friend Lynn Rosen in New York. God bless my 2 friends, my sister and my brother. They have agreed to do this projects with the schools there. I've been there a few times to both the places. And we are under an exploratory stage which is going to grow. Coming back, the child or the adult who is a child before nature, we already have in every family on my planet Earth the existing habit of keeping paper waste aside. We piggyback on that. An existing habit is just modified to include another bag in which we keep plastics. Which plastics? Only the dry plastic. Don't go for A to Z. Dirty plastic, soiled plastic. Don't go A to Z on the day one. In first and second standard, you learned A, B, C, D, right? Did you learn how to write a book? No. I did not learn how to write a book in first and second. I learned only the ABCDs and 1, 2, 3, 4s and addition and subtraction. I did not learn even division and multiplication. So in our fledgling effort to start becoming plastic conscious, please for at least 1 or even 2 years, collect at least only the dry plastic from your house. It's such a small entry point. Don't do A to Z, do ABC. Collect the plastic in a bag. Which plastic? We have already shown you the types of plastic chart. Anything that you buy as plastic is plastic. Put it in that bag. Dry plastic, not wet plastic. Please remember the rule. If a newspaper becomes soaked with some liquid, we don't put it in the newspaper pile of newspapers. So if a plastic is wet, you don't put it in the dry plastic. We don't throw a banana peel onto this pack of newspapers, this stack of newspapers. So don't throw banana peel or wet waste into this plastic. So very easily the plastic stays dry, and the entire family also learns after a month how much we buy. What if we buy 2 sacks full? Then we better start ensuring that every month we collect less and less and less. This is a recollection program where you're encouraged to collect less and less by buying less and less. The children bring to school, along with their school bag, they carry a bag of maybe 200 grams, 400 grams. Most of these bags are not more than half a kilogram. Some of them look pretty big. Okay. So these children have not picked up any plastic or dirty plastic from outside the house. They have not taken any risk of going to the road or to the corner where in an empty lot there's a lot of dirty plastic. They do not go there. We forbid them. Every boy is a prince, every girl is a princess. And they must collect only from inside the palace. Till they become 18 years old, they will not collect any garbage from outside. They will collect plastic only from inside. They will collect only the dry plastic, which is already dry. We don't ask the children to wash anything. For God's sake, they are children. Every boy is a prince, every girl is a princess. We are not going to give dirty work to them. Dirty work will be done by us adults. We know the safety norms, they don't. So this is a behavior change program. We are not trying to change the children into a labor force. We are not. We don't deserve that. My generation has not been very careful. So we ask the children as a prayer from the fish and the birds who do not have a voice. Please, whatever you buy and collect at home, collect only the dry part. You also remain safe. If the fish is to be safe, if the birds are going to be safe, our children will also be safe. So they will not go out and collect. They will collect only the plastic at home. So we give them an achievable job. We give them 6 years to achieve that. First year, he may bring 1 piece of plastic in 5th standard. He is a child. That girl or boy is a child. Let them bring 1 piece, 2 pieces. We'll give them 100 marks for that. But when they come into 6th and 7th and 8th, and continuously this goes on till 10th, 6 years, that is enough time to give them the habit, collect every piece of plastic at home. Take 6 years, don't be in a hurry. The reason why the children and the young people have not been trained is we give them a huge job. Then they collect 2-3 tons of dirty plastic from the river once in a year. That's not the way to do it. That's like brushing your teeth 100 times in one day in the year. Come on, that's ridiculous. We must brush our teeth casually. We should not even notice that we did it. Part of the routine. So when they collect plastic, they don't even notice that they did it. The way they collect paper, they collect plastic and they bring it to school. The safety norm is so important. I must repeat it for teachers also. Please don't give a target to the children. Apart from bring at least 1 empty bag. And if you bring 5-6 pieces of plastic in that empty bag, then God bless you for doing more work. Leave it to the children. Trust me when I say this, I have spoken personally to 250,000 children. They don't bring only an empty bag. They're sensible enough to bring bags. You can see how they bring it. So in 2020, the children and their parents fetched us 100 tons. So I'm not going to go into the math of that. I've already done it before. Hard plastic like this gets crushed by our partner, Clean Garbage Management. Vilas Pokle is the director there. One of the senior mentors is there, Lalit Pai. And then through their hard work over decades, they have found a way to buy from us. And then they crush this and they sell that crushed material to the people further up the line in that economy. So there are industries which buy this crushed plastic, melt the crushed plastic and mix it with the new blue plastic, the old blue plastic, in the proportion that their science tells them, in the proportion that their machine demands. And then every bucket that you buy and most of the things that you buy will have a portion of old plastic in it. And that way the plastic gets sequestered. The plastic gets locked in a new item which is kept at home and not thrown. When that breaks, it can again be given for recycling. Yes, there are many, many ways now in which we can say that if not recycle, the powder of plastic can be mixed with wooden powder or sawdust, and furniture can be created which should not be kept in gardens open to sunlight, but it should be used indoors. If you keep plastic, even plastic bricks out in the sunlight, they're going to break into nanoparticles. So any plastic brick which is created, don't keep it exposed to sunlight or the heat of sunlight. Please use those inside the house. If you keep any recycled plastic furniture outside, it's going to break into pieces fast because of the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Throwing plastic outside and throwing a brick made of plastic outside in the sunlight is hardly any difference. The garbage has taken the form of a brick. That is the only difference. So I went into some aspects of recycling. Most of the recycling material should be used indoors as far as it is possible so that the sunlight doesn't hit it. And then hard plastic like this and many types of plastic get recycled and back into the industry. 70% of the plastic we are gathering goes back to the industry. Through intermediate aggregators like our clean garbage management fellow, my friend and brother Vikas Pokre, through them it gets sorted, it gets crushed, it gets stored, where there's a clean environment and people get jobs there. Manual labor gets job easily there because sorting of plastic can't be done by AI also right now. So 30% of the plastic which remains is sent to plastic gasifier plants, which used to be pyrolysis plants, but they have an added function of being gasifiers. In these machines, which are so high tech that the same technology has been purchased from an Indian company by the Netherlands. 100 kilo of waste plastic, if it is in this digester, it changes to 25 kg gas. 100 out of 100 kilograms, 25 kilo of the plastic changes to gas, which later powers this recycling unit. 52 kilograms changes to fuel oil. You can see the golden liquid going into this drum. That is fuel oil. It is called pyrolysis oil by the National Pollution Control Board of India. This is used by small and medium scale industries, and people are doing R&D of what is the percentage of this to be mixed with diesel and how to prevent pollution from this. 25 kilo remains as a precipitate of coal, which is in the powdered form, so we can call it coke. So this is a plastic to fuel plant. 30% of our plastic that is collected from domestic waste, I'm not talking about industrial waste here. 30% of the plastic which we collect at Sagar Mitra from domestic waste is going to such plants. All right, now we have come full cycle from the plastic coming to us from a factory and going back to the factory. Plastic coming to us from petroleum and then changed back into fuel. This chart shows us what is Sagar Mitra with all the pictures. We are in 2 schools in Morocco and Brooklyn. 2 schools in USA and Brooklyn. Those were experiments. Now we are trying to work out an online program of 16 lectures, each of 90 minutes each. So the history of plastic, the utility of plastic, plastic as a boon, plastic as a curse, plastic management, plastic manufacturing, one lecture, 16 lectures, each of 1.5 hours. We are working that out because we want to go beyond schools into the internet and to everybody. So in that, my friends from USA and Morocco, where we worked with schools earlier, they are our partners. So we are in 3 countries. In Morocco, Sagar Mitra was named by my colleagues as Azdike Al Mohet. Al Mohet means ocean. Azdike means friends. And of course, for any English speaking country, it is Friends of Oceans. Thank you so much for listening to this. Our United Nations has declared a decade of ecosystem restoration. That means our United Nations, more than 190 countries sitting together, have decided that our Earth is not feeling well and we must restore our entire Earth to health. 2021 to 2030 is the time which is given there. These slides, these visuals, which declared 2021 to 2030 as the ecosystem restoration decade are available on the internet. Please Google and find these and start using them in your presentations. You can use them. They will tell you the rules, laws by which you can use them, restrictions. This is one of the slides which is made available by UNEP and by the United Nations and by FAO. And it says what we have been saying now, let's revive our oceans. 2021 to 2030 this decade. I'm glad that our Sagar Mitra children started 10 years ago in 2011. Please join us. Now we have a approved program. It can be done anywhere on our planet. And we will guide you as knowledge partners. Online, we can come and talk to you. And we will give you an idea of our experience. I know many of you have better experience than us. Please contact us. Give us an idea of how this can be done better. And we'll be able to improve it. This was to share a best practice with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you from Sagar Mitra and the entire team. This is a personal action program. Please see every word is calculated. This is a personal action program by our children for a safe future. The children have already taken the lead by collecting tons and tons of material. The contact number and email is given here, preferably contact by email. International calls are not that efficient. Contact by email. I check this email every day. The academic advisors is the NGO which implements Sagar Mitra, which designed Sagar Mitra. So we are willing to be part and parcel of whatever initiative you take. We'll be if you are juniors if you want. We'll be your equal level sharing partners if you wish. If you feel you do not know much, we will be your mentors till such time as you start teaching us how to do this in your city or country or region. Thank you so much for listening to the voice of the fish and the voice of the birds. Thank you for listening to the voice of the phytoplankton, which are dying because we throw plastic. Please let us save this unicellular creature which started creating food on planet millions and millions of years ago. Phytoplankton are unicellular creatures with a green spot. Our great ancestors, if you go by the theory of evolution. Life started in liquid. Even theology, even the theological mythologies all speak about life having started in liquid. And then we are here now attacking this ocean which gives us the monsoon, attacking this ocean which gives us the rainfall, attacking this ocean which sequesters 20% of the carbon, attacking this ocean which gives us 50% of the oxygen by the mere careless act of throwing plastic. Please pledge along with me right now to yourself, this is a personal program, that not a single piece of plastic will leave your hands. At the least for the coming 2 years, you will not let a dry piece of plastic leave your hand until it goes into a bag where you will collect it and give it to the collection agency which you have, where you have been giving your segregated garbage. Thank you so much for the patience to see through to the end. God bless you.